So yesterday I get a phone call from my youngest daughter and she says, Dad, I'm feeling really upset, really disturbed. I said, what's the matter? She said, I've seen this video on TikTok and it's just like done my head in. And I said, well, send it to me, let's have a look. So let's have a little look at the video that upset us so much.
So they saw him walking alone. We live in a very small village, so this is not a major city. It was in the middle of the day as well, and they saw him walking alone across a field, and they all turned on their telephones to video it on social media, live on social media.
They live streamed it?
Yes. This group charged my son. He was alone, defenceless. They charged him. There was a group of about 9 of them. Oh. And as soon as he saw them coming, he just froze. They were all hooded, had masks on, and he just fell to the ground in fear. Makes me really emotional talking
Sandy,
about it.
I can't imagine. How old is your son at this point?
He was just a teenager. He was 15. He was 15, and he was walking across a field to go and meet a girl. So it was just awful. So this group charged him. On the video, you see him fall to the floor, just in fear, pure fear. They all circle around him and they all start kicking him.
For God's sake.
And then this small boy, you just see him on the corner of the screen run in, and something happens. You can't see it very clearly on the video. I've had to watch this. The police showed it to me, and it was just the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. And you see this small boy kind of come in from the side of the screen, run in, and then everybody disperses really quickly. It's the bizarrest thing to watch. And my son's still on the floor in the fetal position, and you see the wobbling of all the cameras as everyone's running away. They didn't know if my son was alive or dead at that point, and they just videoed it and put it all over the internet. The perpetrator was identified because he was the smallest of the group, so from the video, he was able to be identified who he was. He admitted to the attack of stabbing my son, and he was asked to write a letter of apology. That was his punishment.
Not really.
I swear, the court ordered him to write a letter of apology, and there was a £50 fine attributed to the case. That was the justice that my son got.
I honestly, something is going very, very badly wrong. Very, very badly wrong in this country. If a 15-year-old boy can be stabbed in the head, left for dead, bleeding at the side of the road, and a letter of apology and a £50 fine is considered it. That, honestly, that is one of the most astonishing calls I've ever taken, and frankly has left me utterly speechless.
Where do you even start? Where do you even start? A 15-year-old boy set upon by a gang of youths in a park for no other reason they wanted to live stream an attempted murder. By the sounds of it, I think the boy survived, but my daughter was so distressed, and I thought, you know what, I've got to find this woman. I've got to hear her story, because I've spoken to you guys so many times in the past about the criminal justice system in this country and how it values us, how it treats us, and the fact that it won't enable us to defend ourselves when they just don't give a shit about any of us. It makes my blood boil. So I decided to try and find this family. I decided to try and Google this crime. And I typed in 15-year-old boy stabbed in a park, etc., etc. I tried all the different terms, teenagers stabbed in park, etc. And I couldn't find it. And do you know why I couldn't find it? Because there are hundreds of them. Go and look for yourselves. Type in teenager stabbed in park. Take your pick. London, Birmingham, Newcastle, Plymouth, Bristol, you name it. It's happening every day of the week, it seems, right across the country. What has happened to this country our police and our criminal justice system, when people feel that they can go around doing this stuff to their fellow human beings without seemingly any recourse. In this case, a £50 fine and a letter of apology. Why didn't the judge just stick another knife into that poor boy's mother? Honestly, I'm just almost lost for words. Make of it what you will. Tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Have we completely and utterly lost the goddamn plot in this country? Have we gone mad? Are victims no longer cared for? The victims no longer matter? And Labour, I read yesterday that Labour want to ban a complete blanket ban on swords. Yes, swords. Now, I did a bit of research on this. Virtually, I could not find a single crime committed with a sword in the UK in the last year. I couldn't find one. Machetes, yes. Large knives, yes. Kitchen knives, as many as you can shake a stick at. But Labour have got this idea in their head now that banning swords would be an answer to a problem. A blanket ban. So you can say goodbye to the Edinburgh military tower. You can say goodbye to the thousands of people that do historical reenactments across the country. You can say goodbye to fencing as a complete sport all on its own. Just like you can now say goodbye to shooting. Even our Olympic shooters have to go abroad to practice. These governments that we vote in are mad enough to vote these people in. They keep banning things, trying to make us safer, or so they think. But actually things are just getting worse and worse and worse. You can even say goodbye to anyone being knighted, because to be knighted, the king would use a sword. And a blanket ban on swords is a blanket ban. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely stark raving bonkers. And people wonder why I've had enough.